Luke Humphries, congratulations. The back-to-back US Darts Masters. How does that sound?
Yeah, great. Well, great, more than great. It's amazing. It's something that obviously I just wanted to win once in my career. It's such an iconic venue, like I told you yesterday, and to go and do it twice back to back, it's amazing. It kind of slightly makes up for me not doing it in the Premier League, because that was the dream to do a Worlds or a match play or a Premier League back to back, and unfortunately I fell so close to doing it. I guess this is the next best thing for me, and it's still not a big ranking major that I'm due. I feel like I'm due, but yeah, it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully, for the rest of the year I will pick up some ranked majors.
How mentally draining was that final? Because you missed darts for 5-1, and we could see it, and we could still see the look in your face. You were like, "Is that a key moment?" Then Luke gets back into it, then you find the gear to go again, and then produce absolute brilliance in the decider. How draining was that?
Yeah, kind of. It was ebbs and flows, ups and downs. I knew to go 5-1 in the break with a breaker throw being my throw when I come back, it probably would have drained his spirits a little bit. 5-1 down to Luke for me, or 5-1 down for him against me. It's a tough road then. When you go 4-2 into the break, you kind of get a little bit of hope that there's still that option to win. And it was disappointing, but then a few of the doubles I missed, they were just on the wires. The double 8, I think, to go 5-4 up, it was just so close. And then you just think, is it one of them again where your luck's just not on your side? I had so many trebles this weekend. I was just sitting in the corner of the treble 3, like treble 20, treble 20, they're just kicking off, and it was like, maybe it's just not your week. And maybe it actually was in the end. And he takes it out. Yeah, he's a tough player to beat. We've seen that many times, and just nice to do something great and then do a back-to-back tournament.
How important for you is it to beat him in a final and a last leg decider before going into the match play? Because his record in last leg deciders is like Michael van Gogh-esque back in the day. So for you to do that on the verge of the match play, how important is that?
I think it was important for myself, actually, because the Masters I lost in a last leg, last set decider or whatever, the Premier League last leg decider, Copenhagen last leg decider. It kind of feels like you can't go over the line a little bit, and maybe I needed that sort of game, that sort of experience, getting over the line in the last leg decider to maybe believe that it ain't just an omen, or ain't just something that's against me all the time, that I can actually do it. And I don't think I've been that bad in them last leg deciders that I played, and it's not gone my way. But then he's just proved again that I would have had to have performed at that level. He makes it hard for you, and with that 11-12 data there, it's over again for me. So I'm just proud that I really did follow that 180 that he hit, and finish the game off quickly. And
the atmosphere in there tonight was absolutely electric. We saw you during the walk-ons and so on. Does it feel like darts has really arrived now in America?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of English fans out there because of the World Cup, of course, but when you're selling out this arena, 5,000 people with ease, it kind of shows you where the game's at. And there probably was a lot of American fans disappointed not to be here tonight, because they probably wanted to come, and I had loads of messages on Instagram, as I always do. Can you get me a ticket? And obviously you can't get everyone a ticket. So the want was probably there for more, and maybe, who knows? As I said on stage, maybe it's time to go in the big arena. I know that's going to require a lot more tickets, and it's going to have to do really well, but maybe that's an option in the future that we could do, because that really would consolidate, how big the game's got.
Congratulations, Luke.
Luke, we talked about the atmosphere, right? I talked to one of the photographers for MSG. She said that it's the most people they've ever had in the theater. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. It shows how great the game is. This is the nation that we really want to sort of. I know darts isn't small in America. Soft tip's quite big. Still tip maybe not so much yet, but this is the country, the nation that we really want to take hold of it and enjoy it, and grow it massively. I think the contract of ESPN2, which is obviously going to be massive for us as players and as a sport, could really take it to the next level. So hopefully a lot of people tuned in these last 2 days, and hopefully they tune in for the next 4 or 5 competitions for the rest of the year.
Listen, if someone just happened to turn on ESPN2 tonight and see that final, there's no way they're not a darts fan after that.
Yeah,
you guys
true.
were brilliant. Brilliant in that final.
Yeah, and it was a great night of darts. There was many big 100 averages tonight. That game with Luke and James was a great game. Me and Gian's was a fantastic game, and then mine and Luke's was just an unbelievable game. But I think if you didn't know me and Luke around now, I think a lot of Americans will, and they'll understand that this is just the start of our sport. I think it can grow massively, it can grow bigger, and it's exciting for us all as players.
Yeah, I think you create a lot of frustrating fans, honestly, because they're going to go to the pub and be like, this looks easy when these guys do it, and it's not, right? So moving forward now, you got to be making New York your second home at this point with how special this city's becoming to you.
Yeah, it's a great city. I love it. It's yes, I know it's fast, action packed, and it's busy and it's crazy, but I just love it here. It's quite fun and it's good to experience a week here. You probably want to experience more than that because you'd get lost. Your mind would go crazy, but I just love coming over here for the week and enjoying it and spending time with everyone and my partner and stuff like that. She loves coming. My family love coming. So yeah, it's always great to be here and long live it be here as well.
Luke, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you very much.
Luke, congrats on the win. You were a few legs away from the finish line, and as Luke does, he starts to creep back, ties the game. How do you keep your composure knowing that he's so good at just, even when he goes down, sticking around and trying to come back in the end?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably experience. I think I've probably shared the stage with him more than anybody by a long distance. I've played in I think that must be our 9th, 10th, stage TV final or whatever, and I've beaten him in many, but he's beaten me in a lot as well. So I know what to expect. I know how to deal with it. If you're probably playing him in your first final, whoever that may be, you'd probably struggle in that last leg decider when he's hitting absolutely everything against you under pressure, and you're thinking, wow, I'm used to it, and I've learned to deal with it. But it doesn't make it any easier. It's always tough, not just against him, but any player if they're throwing that against you. It's hard work, but I think just experience does play the part in the end.
And this is such a great crowd that we had this weekend. Is there any other cities or regions in the world that you'd love to see the World Series go to in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's already been there, but Japan is the one for me. I'd love to go there. I think I'm probably going to end up going there myself, just as a trip or whatever. I don't know if darts is going to go there the next few years. I'm desperate to go there. I just think the people there are lovely. The people are great and the food's great and they're just so friendly and kind. That's the one place I would love darts to go to. Somewhere like that, but there's loads of places I'd love to see it go. It's just finding that interest, and if the interest is there, then PDC will take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke, congratulations. I've
Thank
seen
you.
quite a few Leeds fans in the crowd tonight as well. Obviously the World Cup being here, how important is it that new eyes have come onto darts, not only in America but the English fans that have come over that perhaps have come to the football and their friends have kind of said, oh, let's go to the darts, to bring a whole new audience to it?
Yeah, I mean, any audience is good audience. It's nice to see that the English fans have probably come here a little bit earlier. Most likely if you were coming to the football, you may come here Thursday or Friday, and now maybe a few people did come a bit earlier than that to make it to the darts. I mean, it's a great couple of days, isn't it? I'm obviously playing yesterday and today, football tomorrow, and then I'm going to the boxing tomorrow night at the Barclays Centre. So it's a great 3 days for fans and myself as well. So yeah, it's great that there's lots of new eyes on the sport, and hopefully with it being on ESPN2 now, hopefully there's loads more American eyes on it.
I was just about to ask you about the boxing. Is that maybe an avenue you go down after darts, maybe a little Misfits fight or anything like that?
Yeah, to be honest, not really. No, I don't see the want to do something like that. I think, that's for people that are influencing, influencers and stuff like that. I'm not an influencer. I'm a professional sportsman, and I don't think my career would ever go down that road. To be fair, I think if I'm giving up darts, I think that's it. I'm not going to go embarrass myself in a boxing ring and try and earn £50 to try and make an idiot of myself. But I used to do boxing when I was younger. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But we'll leave that down for the influencers.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Connor, we'll come to you for the last couple.
Luke, congratulations. The first man to retain the US Darts Masters. How important is it to get this win? Because I remember after the Nordic Darts Masters final, you were quite downbeat, saying you were losing too many finals. But since then, you've won the World Cup with Luke and now beating him in this final.
Yeah, I think it was an important win for myself there, because if you're losing that last leg decider, it's another one of them, and it's again, you've lost again, the last leg decider, you've lost to Luke again in the final. It can play on you, even though when you're in the moment it doesn't. If it keeps happening, then it does weigh on your shoulders a little bit, and the next time I play him in a final, then of course there's a little bit more of confidence in it. If you're losing again and it's another last leg decider, the negativity can really creep in. So obviously I've taken that away from myself now. I think I lost 3 or 4 times in finals against him now. So nice to get that monkey off your back, and hopefully this is a good start to a great rivalry that, like I said many times, it's not a good rivalry if you've got one person winning all the time and the other one's just playing well but not winning. I've won a few games against him now quite consistently, so it's good for the sport.
Yeah, just on that point, actually, I remember after you beat him in the Premier League last year, you went on quite the losing run against Luke. So was you aware of that, and was it important for you, the mindset, knowing that you are going to be contesting finals with him, to turn that around this year, like you have done?
I think it's more like believing in your own ability. If you see what the scenario is all the time and you're losing a lot of finals, it can get to you. But I feel like I'm one of them players that bounces back better than anybody. You've seen it throughout my career many times. The start of the year was really up and down, and then a lot of people was like saying things that you weren't going to do great for the rest of the year, and then you bounce back. So that's something I've done great throughout the rest of my career, and obviously. The World Championships wasn't my best performance in the quarters, and then I bounced back again. The Masters I did well, obviously didn't win it. Premier League in the end was good, but I've kind of found that running a little bit since that Premier League final, and found a bit of form which is hopefully going to take me through to the match play.
I think from what we've seen this year, particularly in the Masters, the Premier League, and now tonight, that you and Luke are still, by quite a margin, the two best players in the world. How big do you see that gap? Obviously, there's other great players, Michael, Jan van Veen still there, but is the gap widening almost, because it still is you two contesting most of these finals?
Yeah, I mean, you can only really go on stats and stuff like that. Obviously, the yearly average, the amount of finals we're in. In 2 or 3, 4 months, I could be world number 3, and I wouldn't sit there and feel like I was the 3rd best player in the world. I'd still think I was the 2nd. So the rankings sometimes don't tell the tale. I think last year, at a certain point, I was still number 1 in the world, but I didn't really necessarily think that was the real ranking. I probably wasn't the best player in the world at that time, but that's not really something that I worry about too much. It's more about who's actually fighting it out for the big major tournaments and being in consistent finals like I am and like Luke is, and the rankings really don't tell the tale sometimes, but all I got to do is keep fighting, keep working hard, and hopefully I can retain that world number 2 spot, and push Luke maybe next year for that world number 1 spot. Far away though.
Cheers.
It's going to be tough.
Congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.